Then we started to get to a point where things became a little bit more interconnected. So you had databases that were now getting connected to the internet. You had cloud computing, which came about, which changed quite a lot about how we needed to look after data. I mean, I remember when cloud computing first came out and people started throwing their data into the cloud, and then got very surprised when AWS and Microsoft said, no, we're not protecting that for you. And everybody started to freak out a little bit because they didn't know how to secure that. So that became accessible data, which became a real big problem.
I'd almost forgotten about all the cloud leaks.
Yeah. I mean, it was
big for a while, but
it was massive.
Yeah.
So there was such a competitive space. I mean, after Amazon had a ride of 7 years. So they didn't have any competition in cloud computing for 7 years. Jeff Bezos still talks about it today, thinking, I don't know how that actually happened. So there were some controls that were put in, there were policies that were made, you needed to have login details and all of that, but cybersecurity was only kind of just getting a bit of a role at that point. So you had some big tools that were coming out that were getting used by banks and big insurance companies and all of that. Tools it's called the SIEM, so Security Information and Event Management. And effectively what that is, it's a giant aggregator of logs. So every time that you punch something into your phone or your laptop or a printer, it generates a log on the back end about what it's doing. And the SIEM effectively takes all of that in and kind of consumes that. And then you can have a look at what's happening in the environment. But that took a long time to get into SMB space as well. It's very expensive. It was very complicated. I still remember I went through to a training workshop for a company called Splunk. That they were a big SIEM company, and we went through all of it. I had absolutely no idea what was going the entire time, and then I somehow won a prize at the end.
Oh.
Yes, I don't know. I don't think anybody knew what was going on, so they just gave them out to people. But that started to drift down into mid-market as well. We had things like policy controls and all of that were coming through. But we started to get into a space where those known threats were still being protected against, but we were seeing some other types of threats that were coming into the market.